Listen carefully. There comes a moment in life when silence becomes louder than failure. When the dreams you once screamed about slowly start fading into quiet regret. When you begin telling yourself one day so many times that the words lose their meaning. That moment is dangerous because most people don't fail when they fall. They fail when they start waiting. Waiting for confidence. Waiting for motivation. Waiting for the perfect opportunity that never arrives. Goku never waited. He was never the strongest when he started. He was never the smartest fighter in the room. He was never the one people expected to win. He was simply the one who refused to stop trying. And that difference is what separates legends from spectators. Most people think strength is something you are born with. They believe power belongs to the gifted, the lucky, the chosen few. But real strength is far more brutal than that. Real strength is built in mornings when your body feels heavy, when your mind whispers excuses, when quitting feels comfortable and continuing feels impossible. Think about your own journey for a second. How many times have you started something with fire inside your chest, only to abandon it when progress became slow? How many times have you told yourself you will change tomorrow, while secretly knowing tomorrow will look exactly like today? That cycle is not weakness. That cycle is fear disguised as patience. Goku understood something that most people spend their entire lives avoiding. Growth is not exciting. Growth is exhausting. Growth is repetitive. Growth is humiliating. It means losing again and again, standing up again and again, training when nobody believes in you, fighting battles that nobody else even sees. There were moments when Goku faced enemies stronger, faster, and more experienced than him. Moments when logic itself said he should lose. But logic cannot measure heart. And heart is what turns effort into transformation. Every time he was defeated, every time he was pushed beyond his limits, every time the world proved he wasn't ready, he didn't ask, "Why is this happening to me?" He asked, "What can this pain teach me?" That single question changes everything. Because pain is not just suffering. Pain is information. Pain is feedback. Pain is a mirror showing you the exact place where growth is waiting. But most people never look into that mirror. They run from it. They distract themselves with comfort. They convince themselves that average is safe. They slowly accept a life that feels easier but emptier. And emptiness is the most dangerous opponent of all, not because it destroys you instantly, but because it erases your potential slowly, quietly, permanently. Look at Goku's journey closely. He didn't chase victory. He chased improvement. Victory became a side effect. That mindset is terrifying, because when someone focuses only on getting better, they become unstoppable. Failure stops being an ending. Failure becomes training. Loss stops being humiliation. Loss becomes preparation. Every setback becomes another step forward, even when it feels like falling backwards. Now imagine this. Imagine waking up every day knowing you are still far from your goal, still far from success, still far from becoming the person you dream about, and choosing to fight anyway. That is not motivation. That is discipline. Motivation is emotional. Discipline is mechanical. Motivation disappears when life becomes hard. Discipline survives when life becomes unbearable. Goku trained when he was tired. He trained when he was injured. He trained when victory felt impossible. Not because he enjoyed suffering, but because he feared stagnation more than he feared pain. And stagnation is silent. It doesn't scream. It doesn't warn you. It simply convinces you that staying the same is acceptable. Years pass. Dreams shrink. Confidence fades. And one day you wake up realizing you never even tried. That realization hurts more than any failure ever could. There will always be people stronger than you. There will always be people faster than you. There will always be people who started earlier than you. But there is one thing nobody can copy: your refusal to quit. Because refusal creates pressure. Pressure creates adaptation. Adaptation creates evolution. And evolution is the true meaning of power. Goku never fought just to defeat enemies. He fought to defeat limits. Limits placed by others. Limits created by fear. Limits whispered by doubt inside his own mind. Every time he reached a new level, it wasn't just his body transforming. It was his belief expanding. Belief that effort matters. Belief that persistence beats talent. Belief that no destiny is permanent if you have the courage to rewrite it. Right now, somewhere inside you, there is a version of yourself waiting to be awakened. A version stronger than your excuses. A version braver than your fears. A version disciplined enough to chase dreams without needing constant motivation. But that version is trapped. Trapped behind comfort. Trapped behind hesitation. Trapped behind the illusion that you still have unlimited time. Time is not your enemy. Delay is. Because every moment you postpone action, your dreams move further away from reality. And here is the truth nobody likes to hear. One day, opportunity will stop knocking. One day, energy will not feel the same. One day, chances will disappear quietly. That day will not announce itself. It will arrive silently, like regret. Goku never waited for the perfect moment. He created moments through relentless effort. He understood something brutally honest about success. Success is not built in giant leaps. Success is built in small, painful, invisible steps, repeated every single day. Steps that feel meaningless in the beginning, but become unstoppable momentum over time. Momentum is powerful, because once discipline becomes habit, once effort becomes identity, once struggle becomes normal, nothing can truly stop you anymore. The world can slow you down, but it cannot break someone who refuses to surrender. Now pause for a second and look at your life honestly. Look at your unfinished goals. Look at your abandoned dreams. Look at the promises you made to yourself and quietly ignored. Those promises are still waiting. Not for luck. Not for perfect timing. Not for motivation. They are waiting for courage. Because courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is continuing despite fear. And the moment you take action while scared, you step into transformation. But transformation demands sacrifice. It demands consistency when results are invisible. It demands patience when progress feels slow. It demands faith when doubt becomes loud. Most people stop here. Most people walk away when transformation begins, asking for pain instead of comfort. Goku never walked away. He ran toward difficulty because he understood that struggle is not punishment. Struggle is preparation. Preparation for a version of life most people never experience. A life where you are proud of your discipline. A life where you respect your own effort. A life where your dreams are no longer imagination, but reality. So now the real question is not whether you have potential. Potential exists in almost everyone. The real question is far more dangerous. When your body feels exhausted, when your progress feels invisible, when your mind starts convincing you to wait just a little longer, will you sit under the sky staring at your dreams as distant stars? Or will you rise, chase them relentlessly, and prove that your limits were never real in the first place? You think being strong means never feeling pain, but Saiyan's strength was never built that way. Real Saiyan power is born the moment everything starts collapsing around you. A Saiyan is not defined by victories. A Saiyan is forged by loss, by humiliation, by being crushed into the ground so many times that standing up becomes an act of rebellion itself. There comes a moment in every warrior's life when the world stops believing in them. Friends doubt you. Enemies mock you. Even your own reflection begins to question whether you are enough. And that moment, that suffocating silence where hope feels distant, is where Saiyan blood begins to whisper. Because Saiyans were never meant to live easy lives. They were born into battle, raised through destruction, conditioned to fight even when the body screams to surrender. You see, every scar you carry is not proof of weakness. Every failure is not a mark of defeat. Every loss is simply your Saiyan instinct sharpening itself, preparing you for a transformation you don't even realize is coming. Saiyans don't just grow stronger through training, they grow stronger through survival. When your dreams shatter in front of you, when the people you tried to protect fall, when your limits are exposed in the cruelest way possible, something inside you begins to burn. Not anger alone, not pride alone, but a storm of emotions that refuses to be silenced. That is the moment where most people break. But Saiyans remember who they are. They remember that pain is temporary, but growth is permanent. They remember that fear is not an enemy. It is fuel. They remember that exhaustion is not the end. It is the threshold of evolution. Every time a Saiyan falls, their body records the lesson. Their spirit absorbs the suffering. Their will hardens like armor forged in cosmic fire. And when they rise again, they don't just return, they transcend. You might look at your struggles right now and feel overwhelmed. You might think life has thrown battles at you that you never asked for. You might feel like no matter how hard you push, the universe keeps pushing back harder. Good. Because Saiyan blood does not awaken in comfort, it awakens in chaos. Think about every moment you felt powerless, every night you stared into darkness, wondering if tomorrow would finally defeat you. Every time you told yourself you weren't strong enough, skilled enough, brave enough. Those moments were not breaking you. They were calling you. Saiyan warriors don't run from limits. They hunt them. They stare directly into the wall blocking their path and punch through it until their fists bleed and their bones crack. Not because they are fearless, but because their purpose is louder than their fear. And purpose is what separates warriors from spectators. The world is full of spectators, people who watch life pass them by, people who surrender the moment difficulty arrives, people who convince themselves that dreams belong only to the chosen few. Saiyans reject that lie. Saiyans believe destiny is not given, it is taken. Every time a Saiyan steps onto the battlefield, they already know they might lose. They already know they might fall, but they step forward anyway, because standing still is the only true defeat. You don't become legendary by avoiding pain. You become legendary by walking straight into it, letting it crush you, learning from it, and rising again stronger than before. And here is the truth most people are afraid to accept. Your greatest transformation will never happen during your victories. It will happen in your lowest moment, when nobody is cheering, when nobody is watching, when it feels like the universe has abandoned you. That silence, that loneliness, that unbearable pressure, that is where Saiyan evolution begins. There will be days when your energy is gone, days when your confidence fades, days when you question whether continuing is even worth it. And in those moments, you will hear two voices. One voice will tell you to stop, to rest forever, to accept that maybe you were never meant to reach greatness. The other voice, the quiet one, the one buried deep beneath your fear, that is your Saiyan blood speaking. It will remind you that warriors are not measured by how many times they win. Warriors are measured by how many times they refuse to stay down. Remember this: Saiyans don't chase perfection, they chase progress. They understand that every loss carries a hidden blueprint for victory. Every defeat is simply a training ground disguised as tragedy. And the more you suffer, the closer you get to unlocking a power you never imagined existed within you. Because Saiyan power is not about muscles. It is not about speed. It is not about raw strength alone. Saiyan power is about resilience. It is about looking at a battle you cannot win and fighting anyway. It is about protecting dreams even when they feel impossible to reach. It is about standing in the ruins of your failures, clenching your fists, raising your head toward the sky, and refusing to surrender your purpose. Right now, somewhere inside you, there is a warrior waiting to awaken, a version of you that does not fear limits, a version of you that turns pain into energy, doubt into determination, and struggle into unstoppable momentum. But awakening that warrior demands sacrifice. It demands patience. It demands walking through storms that most people would run from. And the question is not whether you have the potential to become stronger. The question is whether you have the courage to endure the transformation. Because Saiyan blood never fades. It only waits for the moment you decide to rise. But when that moment arrives, will you finally embrace the warrior inside you? Or will you let your limits decide who you were meant to become? Goku never waited for the perfect moment because he understood something most people ignore. There is no perfect moment. Every time Goku faced an enemy stronger than him, every time he stood in front of destruction, he had a choice: run, doubt, or rise. And every single time, he chose to rise. When Vegeta arrived on Earth, Goku wasn't ready. When Frieza reached his final form, Goku wasn't ready. When Jiren stood like an immovable wall, Goku still wasn't ready. But here's the truth about greatness. Legends are not born ready. They become ready in the fire. Most people sit and wait for confidence. They wait for motivation. They wait for life to become easier. But warriors don't wait. Goku didn't unlock Ultra Instinct because he felt comfortable. He unlocked it because he was pushed to the edge, where failure meant losing everything. That's where real power is born, at the breaking point. Ask yourself something right now. How long have you been waiting? Waiting to start. Waiting to change. Waiting to chase your goals. Waiting to become stronger. You keep telling yourself, tomorrow I'll start. Next week I'll change. When life gets better, I'll push harder. But listen carefully. If not now, when? Because time doesn't slow down. Opportunities don't wait. Dreams don't chase you. You chase them. Every second you hesitate, someone else is training. Every moment you doubt, someone else is leveling up. Every excuse you make, your potential is slipping away. Goku trains when he's exhausted. Goku fights when he's terrified. Goku stands back up, even when his body screams to stay down. Because Saiyan pride isn't about winning. It's about refusing to stay defeated. Pain will come. Fear will come. Failure will come. But those aren't signs to stop. They are signs you are finally entering the battlefield of growth. You don't need perfect conditions. You don't need perfect skills. You don't need perfect confidence. You need one decision. The decision to stand up. The decision to push forward. The decision to fight for the version of yourself that you know you can become. Because inside you, there is a warrior waiting to be awakened. Not tomorrow. Not someday. Right now. And remember this. The difference between ordinary people and legends is simple. Ordinary people wait for the right time. Legends create it. There comes a moment in every warrior's life. A moment where excuses lose their power. A moment where fear has no control. A moment where you either transform or stay average forever. Saiyans call that moment awakening. Goku didn't reach his strongest forms because he wanted to be powerful. He reached them because he refused to accept limits placed on him by fear, pain, or defeat. Every transformation Goku achieved came after loss, after exhaustion, after moments where standing felt impossible. And that's where most people quit, not because they are weak, but because they don't realize something important. Your lowest point is often the doorway to your highest form. When Goku lost friends, he didn't break. When his body collapsed, he didn't surrender. When the universe depended on him, he didn't hesitate. He transformed, not just in strength, but in mindset. Because real power is not muscles. Real power is not talent. Real power is the ability to keep moving forward when everything inside you wants to stop. Look at your life right now. Your struggles, your failures, your doubts, your pressure, your pain. You think these things are destroying you, but what if they are preparing you? Steel is not formed in comfort. Diamonds are not created without pressure. Saiyans don't rise without battle. You were never meant to live small. You were never meant to live safe. You were never meant to watch others chase greatness while you sit and wonder, what if? Because deep down, you already know the truth. You know you are capable of more. You know you are stronger than your excuses. You know your story isn't supposed to end in regret. The only thing left is your decision. To keep waiting, or to finally rise. Because one day, there will be no more chances. One day, time will ask you a question you cannot escape. Did you become the person you were meant to be? Or did you let fear decide your story? And when that day comes, you will either stand proud or live with the pain of potential wasted. So choose now. Train when you don't feel like it. Fight when life hits you. Stand up when failure knocks you down. Push forward when the world tells you to slow down. Become obsessed with growth. Become addicted to discipline. Become unstoppable. Because inside you, there is a transformation waiting. And legends are not remembered for the battles they avoided. They are remembered for the battles they refused to lose. This is your story. This is your moment. This is your awakening. Now rise and show the world your final form